Dinosaurs are cool. Ergo, movies about dinosaurs will probably be pretty cool too. To an extent. Because eventually, if your movie doesn't have anything particular to say, then it's just people running around getting eaten by dinosaurs. Jurassic World Dominion is the sixth motion picture in a franchise all about dinosaurs being scooped up into the modern era via advanced cloning. Does it have anything in particular to say? More importantly, what lesson about cinema or storytelling can we learn from it? Let's find out. Aloha everybody, my name is Andrew Fantasia. You're watching Thumb Together, and today we are going to be talking about Jurassic World Dominion together. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. Otherwise, the algorithm will bury me, and like a dinosaur, I will go extinct. That's okay. I don't care about algorithms. YouTube's all bullshit anyway. Okay, real talk. I just saw Jurassic World Dominion, a movie that has been collectively shit on by critics and fans alike over the past couple of weeks. And I really liked it. Whoop, do you hear that? That's the sound of a bunch of butthurt people clicking the unsubscribe button. That's okay. But if you care enough to do so, hear me out. J-World Dominion is a legacy sequel, and the two biggest building blocks in the DNA of legacy sequels are nostalgia and fan service. Neither of those two things are necessarily bad, but when they get used and abused and sometimes even weaponized by Hollywood, they can be downright awful. But when I left the theater after viewing this legacy sequel, I found that I had had a great time with it. Once I asked myself why that might be, I discovered the lesson that J-World Dominion teaches us. Serve the story, not the fans. In my totally unprofessional opinion, the main reason why The Rise of Skywalker was so critically frowned upon was because it did not heed this lesson. Director J.J. Abrams cared only about pleasing fans to the point where it went beyond fan service and became more like fan fellatio. And while that was really nice of him, and I appreciate it, this unfortunately means he didn't pour any care into serving the story. That's why we ended up with a lopsided trilogy that feels like its conclusion was cobbled together at the 11th hour. Because, well, it was. But Andrew, Jurassic World Dominion has a ton of fan service. It brought back the original three main characters from the first movie, and it made them main characters again. Well, yes, hypothetical commenter, you are absolutely right. In fact, I think it's only fair that I should add a little asterisk at the end of today's lesson. Because like I said, fan service isn't inherently bad. It's great to see Frodo show up again in The Hobbit, or in this case, the original three heroes from Jurassic Park reprise their roles. Fan service is great in moderation. The comparison I always like to use is that fan service shouldn't be the ice cream, it should be the sprinkles. At the opposite end of The Rise of Skywalker, that's why so many people adore Rogue One, because the new characters and their new story is the bulk of everything. It's the ice cream. All the old legacy characters and planets that make cameos, those are just sprinkles topping everything off. Now, to circle back to dinosaurs. J-World Dominion did actually serve me as a fan because it gave me exactly what I've wanted ever since the end of The Lost World. Dinosaurs commingling with humans. A sort of dinosaur apocalypse, if you will. A complete reshift of the world as we know it to accommodate for the fact that John Hammond did this totally crazy and amazing thing that changed the course of history. I wanted to see the next step in that story. What I didn't want to see was just another group of people on another island getting picked off by another bunch of dinosaurs. Because we'd already had 3 movies of nothing but that, and in case anyone's forgotten, the last one wasn't exactly a critical darling. You know what? Let's pause for a second. Here's the best comparison I can make. Jurassic Park, the first movie, was based off a novel written by this guy, Michael Crichton. He wrote the Jurassic Park novel in 1990. 18 years earlier, he wrote a screenplay for a very similar movie called Westworld. Robots are cool. Ergo, movies about robots will probably be pretty cool too. To an extent. Because eventually, if your movie doesn't have anything particular to say, then it's just people running around getting killed by robots. Where Jurassic Park is a sci-fi about a dinosaur theme park that goes horribly wrong, Westworld is a sci-fi about a robot theme park that goes horribly wrong. Crichton is nothing if not consistent. The Westworld movie wasn't a gigantic hit, but it did alright. Then, in 2016, they rebooted the story into an absolutely kick-ass series on HBO, which is about to begin its 4th season, and I'm so effing excited! And the series begins in the same way the movie does. The theme park is running, everyone is enjoying frolicking with a bunch of robot cowboys, and then the robots become self-aware and start murdering the guests. But you can't wring 3 seasons out of that premise, so what happens? The show takes it to the next logical step. In a world where robots this advanced exist, what happens? How do greedy corporations try to capitalize on their existence? How does humanity react when the robots escape into the real world? How do the robots reconcile with their artificial existence? The questions posed by this show are deep, sometimes painfully so, but every season continues to ask more and moves the story forward. And the amazing thing is, aside from a few blink-and-you-miss-it moments or familiar musical motifs, there are barely any callbacks or references to the original movie. Because the creators of the Westworld show are more interested in serving the story than they are serving the fans. The result is, in my opinion, one of the best shows on television. HBO's Westworld is so damn good that it made me wish all the more for the J-World movies to just take the next logical step in the sci-fi story that they've been telling since Part 1. That's why when 2018's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom came out, I was singing its praises to anyone who would listen to me. You've got dinos being auctioned off to terrorists on the black market, and new species being constructed for war, and genome research being used to clone an actual human, and the dinosaurs finally taking over the human world. I love the shit out of Fallen Kingdom because, unlike its predecessor, it serves the story over the fans. And for those who are curious, this is how I would rank all 6 of the Jurassic films. So, yeah, there it is. Dominion keeps moving this sci-fi story forward while also giving us thrilling adventure and lots of action and the return of 4 legacy characters and all that fun stuff. It's ice cream with sprinkles, and everything is correctly proportioned. Jurassic World Dominion is my 2nd favorite movie in this franchise because it heeds today's crucial lesson: every gigantic Tyrannosaurus Rex-sized step of the way. Also, I'm Maltese, and the best action sequence in this whole movie takes place in Malta, so that's kind of amazing too. Yay! Hollywood is finally acknowledging that Malta exists. Anyway, that has been today's Thumb Together on Jurassic World Dominion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever it is, put it in the comments and maybe I'll read it. I don't know. I'm not promising anything. I myself am a dinosaur, so I'm not on the computer as often as most people think. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you here next time, and until then, adios.